Hey guys, what's up? Pixels here, and in today's video we are doing a best build for Army of Darkness Ash. Now, Army of Darkness Ash was very difficult to actually come up with a build for because I've been testing loads of different builds out, doing like high damage, doing tank builds, that type of thing. I kind of want to do like an all-round thing because trying to do high damage, like you can do high damage with this guy, but it really doesn't make sense to do that, and I'll get into why it doesn't make sense to do that. I did the cooldown for his potion as well, where it knocks 6 seconds off the cooldown. It wasn't really that beneficial because, usually you only drink the potion when there's a boss unit spawn. But anyways, let's begin. And I'm going to tell you where you should be first spending your points. So obviously you have to put it into the last word. This isn't really beneficial for him because, I mean, it's good against bosses, but it's not really beneficial for him against like just doing the ads, and because you want to like literally spam finishers on this guy, and I'll explain why in a bit. So the next thing you want to go for is Artful Dodger, because warriors don't have a great deal of stamina, so I mainly go straight for Artful Dodger. I put my skill point into that. So usually I like to improve this guy's amulets. At the moment you don't have to worry about that until you reach level 10, because yes, you can obviously spec into shield and then gain, 2 shield bars per amulet, but you don't really want to do that because it's kind of counterintuitive, where it's like you should really wait until you do get his level 10 perk, which is every time he does a finisher, he receives 40 shield bar basically, which is really nice. So it doesn't make sense to really go this route until you get a level 10. So my suggestion is to go for stamina and to do the melee damage stuff as well. So obviously you'll have 10 points to spend there. So, just basically pull into these as much as you can, and I don't know how many we've spent there. We've spent 8. We spent 8 so far. So now we have another 2 we can go for. So the next thing that I recommend you go for is balance bar damage. Now this is really important on this guy because it knocks down the enemy's balance bars as fast as possible. So then you can do the finishers. So by the time that you get this leveled up to at least 15%, you will then unlock his finish strong move, which is great. So the next skill point that you want to look for putting in is either doing more balance bar damage, which will be beneficial for you. So doing that will obviously help you regen shields a lot faster because you're draining the enemy's balance bar, and doing finishes a lot quicker as well. Okay, so once we have these, leveled up, these 4 perks, as, well, obviously these 3 perks, because the first one we're not really pulling into, then we can start buffing up our amulet, which makes the most sense for this guy. So, the next thing, just, put as many points into that. I'd suggest maybe it's going up to 10% for reinforced amulet, because, it's going to reduce your incoming damage, which is really good. And then, you can then go into increasing that to 10% as well. I don't recommend spending another point in these because you only get an extra 2% increase on the fourth, skill point spent on it, which just, it's not beneficial at all. You might as well just use that skill point somewhere else, which makes the most sense, So the next thing I like to do is kind of go a bit tanky with this guy as well. So the next one I go for is Tougher Than Hell, and I want to max that out at 10% because you have that 10% damage reduction, and then you're going to have another 10% damage reduction on top of that with the reinforced amulet, which is great. And of course, you're also going to have a longer shield bar. And again, you're constantly regenerating your shield bar over and over again with this guy because of his level 10 perk. And so the next thing that I go for is just maximum health. So I put that up to 4. Literally, that is what I spend my skill points on. And then the last one that we go for is increased dismemberment damage for melee weapons. And the reason I do that is because, this guy's really insane with the chainsaw. There is different routes you can go with this guy, like I said, but I think this is the best route that you can go for him right now. Like, you can make him a total boss slayer if you want to do that, but honestly, for the best, like, overall build and the best type of, like, solo build, I think this is the best one you can hope for right now. Like I said, there's different ones like fighting shape, go above the, like, if your health's above a certain threshold, you do more damage. I've tested it all out. Like I said, it just didn't make sense to do high damage with this guy. Of course, he's already really good at doing damage, especially with his chainsaw mastery. So if you find a chainsaw on this guy, you're going to kick a lot of ass. But honestly, like I said, if you're going to go just totally, like I said, if you're going to, like, want to play this guy efficiently and to get the best use of his perks, I really think just going to, like, sort of tank build for this guy makes the most sense, just so you can keep doing those finishes easier Of course, you don't want your damage going too high with this guy, because then you're not going to be able to do the finishes. Like, I tested out build where, you know, I picked up a legendary weapon. I was just one shot and everything. I was unable to actually get any finishes unless they were an elite, which really sucked. So it always made sense, you know, just to kind of stick with like sort of like a common weapon with this guy, just to really utilize his perks to the best you can. And of course, you're still doing like a high output of damage as well. Like, most of the time you'll play this guy even with a common weapon like a sword or a lumberjack axe. And if you do find the chainsaw, that's really, really awesome, because the chainsaw will fuck them up. Like, the increased attack speed, you'll be able to do just finishes so much easier with the chainsaw as well. Like I said, it's just so much more beneficial to go the health route with this guy. And like I said, just going for high damage with this dude, just it doesn't make sense, because you're not going to be able to like utilize like 2 of his perks that way, because, you know, you're going to regen the shield bar from doing the, obviously, the executions of the finishes. And then on top of that, every time, you know, that little bit of shield bar goes away, and when you get hit, it will do like a massive shockwave, which will do 200 explosion damage on any nearby enemy units as well. So, you know, like I said, I think this makes the most sense for the skill tree for this guy. So let's move on to spending his ping fuck in the game. Alright, so how you should be spending ping fuck with this guy is the most important thing of playing this dude. So the first thing that you want to go into straight away is shield. Maxing his shield out, because once you get to that final, you know, ping fuck point in the shield, every time you use an amulet, it will literally regen 2 shields, which is amazing. And on top of that, obviously, this guy regens shield every time he does his finisher. So, you know, buffing the shield up the best you can with this dude makes the most sense. And then the next thing you want to go for is melee. So putting 5 straight into melee, that's what I like to go for, because that way you can have the increased, you know, 20% attack speed and plus 20% melee damage. So you even do more damage as well, which is awesome. So like I said, obviously going it back into his skill tree, it didn't make most sense to go for like loads of melee damage, because obviously we want to do the attack speed and just spam finishes as much as possible with this dude, which, you know, it's like the best thing you can go for. And then from there, it's up to you. So I personally like to just go for health, but up to you. You can go for stamina or health. I recommend those 2 the most. Don't go into range with this guy at all. There's really no point. But you can go into fear as well. But like I said, you know, depending on how much ping fuck that you find, the best thing to go for is shield and then melee. And then I mean, I'd go either stamina or health. Like, stamina is really important, because obviously the warriors don't have a lot of stamina in their kit, which does suck. So, you know, going for stamina, it can make sense. But again, I like to just sort of be a bit of a tank with this guy. And like I said, it doesn't make sense to really do high damage with him. But like I said, I'm going to be doing other builds as well. I'm going to be doing other builds, going over, you know, making him the highest damage possible, you know, just being like an absolute, you know, possessed unit slayer and stuff like that. So I think there is going to be really good builds out there for him. But at the moment, I think this is his best build, like his sort of all-round build that makes the most sense to utilize all his perks. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know who you want to see next in a build video as well. I'm trying my best with these. Obviously, each game takes like half an hour, so testing out a build, it takes like half an hour for me to test it out, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't that good, now I need to change this up and then try this out, which takes another half an hour. So the build videos will take a lot of time to get round to, but this guy was heavily requested by you guys, so I thought I'd make the build video about him right now. So leave me a like, hit that sub button if you are new to the channel for more Evil Dead content. I will be trying my best, like I said, to get these out as fast as possible. The next thing I'm going to be looking forward to do is a weapon tier list as well, which I think would be great. But yeah, I stream this game on my channel, you know, Monday to Friday at the moment. I'm really going all out on this game. So if you are new to the channel, hit that sub button to get notified when I go live and to check out all my latest videos as well. And yeah, like I said, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know what you're using on this guy right now. And I have been Pixels, you're my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.